Welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. Even as there is a growing alarm in India over rising COVID cases in many countries, especially with the New Year's festivities around the corner, a massive fight over COVID precautions has broken out over Bharat Jodo Yatra. The Congress is up in arms since the Union Health Minister's letter to Rahul Gandhi became public. A letter that asked Gandhi to be careful with the yatra and follow basic COVID protocols, especially after a few tested positive post-attendance. Not surprisingly, Congress is fuming. After all, it's not like there are any restrictions on any movements or gatherings right now in the country. The issue is not whether the yatra should be stopped. The issue is only whether there can be greater precautions taken currently. Is that not a self-induced responsibility, in fact? The Congress has always maintained that it has been ahead of the curve. And it is Rahul Gandhi himself who should be credited for alerting the government every time on COVID. Then why is the party dithering on COVID now? So much so, Rahul Gandhi himself came out to say, COVID is just a bahana to stop his yatra. Is it the Congress party's contention then that COVID doesn't exist or that there should not be a greater sense of precautions because of surges in other countries? Will it contest if restrictions were made mandatory tomorrow? Will it guarantee it will not blame the government if COVID cases rise in the country? As the Bharat Jodo Yatra becomes a political flashpoint, who is really responsible for making it so? We will take that question to our guests in just a bit. But let's take a look at what Rahul Gandhi had said earlier on COVID, criticizing the union government over its handling. So here are two quotes, one from February 12, 2020. This is of course very early in the pandemic. My sense is the government is not taking this threat seriously. Timely action is critical. This is what Rahul Gandhi had said then. Almost a year later, in 2021 April, he had said, Congress leaders and I said to the PM that India is going to be affected by COVID-19. You should start preparing. This is just to show what I was saying earlier, that Rahul Gandhi and Congress party insist that he's the one who's always been warning the country and the union government. What does the former Congress chief say now? Today, Rahul Gandhi came out calling COVID an excuse to stop his yatra. He further alleged that the BJP is doing this, that they've sent him a letter to ask to follow COVID protocols or suspend the yatra if they cannot manage the COVID protocols because it is scared of the might of the yatra. This is, of course, something that has been echoed by many other Congress leaders. But is it just the BJP at the centre and BJP at the state level that is sounding the alarm? Actually, no. Take a look at this. Since yesterday, several states have held review meetings over COVID situation given the catastrophic reports that are coming in from China. And these include Aam Aadmi Party governments in Delhi and Punjab, DMK government in Tamil Nadu, and of course, various BJP governments across the states. So there's Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Delhi, Punjab, Tamil Nadu, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, and Karnataka. So it's not really only BJP-ruled states that are sounding the alarm. In Delhi, of course, the Chief Minister has held a review meeting. As I mentioned, in Punjab, a review meeting has been held, and even in Tamil Nadu. So the big question we asked today, as far as this face-off of the Bharat Jodo Yatra is concerned, with the COVID focus on it, why politicize a call for precaution?
आने वाले त्योहार और नए साल को ध्यान में रखते हुए राज्यों को सतर्क रहकर लोगों का मास्क पहनना, हैंड सैनिटाइजर करना, रिस्पायरी हाइजीन का ख्याल रखना और सामाजिक दूरी बनाए रखने की जागरूकता लानी।
कोविड आ रहा है, यात्रा बंद करो। मतलब अब देखिए, अब यात्रा को रोकने के लिए बहाने बन रहे हैं।
आज आपको ये क्रोनोलॉजी समझाना चाहता हूँ। भारत जोड़ो यात्रा दिल्ली में प्रवेश होगा परसों, पर भारत जोड़ो यात्रा के दिल्ली में प्रवेश होने के 2 दिन पहले समीक्षा, इमरजेंसी मीटिंग।
नवंबर में जब ओमिक्रॉन, चाइनीज ओमिक्रॉन के बारे में पता चली तो गुजरात में नरेंद्र मोदी जी क्यों नहीं मास्क लगाई और गुजरात में क्यों चुनाव प्रचार हुई? हाँ, सितंबर से शुरू हुई, G20 में क्यों बुलाए, ये मिलेट लंच क्यों कराई, सदन क्यों चलाई बिना मास्क?
Charu Pragya of the BJP, Dr. Anshul Avijit of the Congress Party are joining us. Suman C. Raman, political analyst, and Arun Anand, First Post consulting editor. Anshul, let me begin with you. The Congress Party has always been sounding alarm on the COVID situation. You wouldn't argue, of course, that there is no need to be alarmed. Unless that is your take, then I take it. But clearly, there is a need to be more alarmed. There are also cases of even high-profile VIP guests or attendants of your Bharat Jodo Yatra who have returned positive post-attendance. Don't you think that it's only fair that the Yatra should be held under basic COVID precautions right now?
Shivani, don't you think that it's only fair that first of all the Prime Minister's big rally in Tripura would have been stopped? We saw the crowds there. I can show you pictures of it. That just happened a couple of days back. Don't you think it's fair that actually the point of entry of any kind of subvariant of Omicron or anything else is through the airports, and there should have been vigilance in the airports? Parliament could have been suspended. There could have been a general warning. This direct kind of letter to Mr. Rahul Gandhi, nobody's undermining the threat of the COVID. I mean, it was Mr. Rahul Gandhi's words that you rightly pointed out that were actually prophetic. They resulted in a kind of devastation we saw and complete and gross incompetence of the government.
But why the volte-face now? The COVID threat is not over, as all experts are saying. Today, Rahul Gandhi is almost sounding like a second-grade leader when he says COVID is an excuse. We've heard similar statements.
Let's not use such phrases, Shivani.
No, I don't mean it with any disrespect. I'm saying he's obviously a prominent face of your party. You know, we've heard these things that COVID nahi hai, COVID ek bahana hai, COVID ek excuse hai, COVID kisi ka particular weapon hai. Why dismiss the threat of COVID is what I'm asking.
Shivani, nobody is undermining what COVID is. We know very well what COVID was. We saw it in the devastation caused in the second wave, where we saw the incompetence of this government in the differential pricing or not ordering vaccines. We know the threat of COVID, and we always know that it's right there. It can be imminent. Here, there was a political intent in that message, which you cannot deny.
Okay, I take your argument that there was a political intent, and I'll take that to your opponent from the BJP. But my question to you is, that letter asked for certain guidelines to be followed. This is a yatra that has been ongoing, and it's running over a period of 5 months. There are lots of people joining, thousands by Congress's own accounts. So what is the problem in having precautions is all I'm asking. I don't think anybody's contention is that it should be stopped at this stage.
No, I mean, a lot of people are saying that it should be stopped, including members of the BJP, including the health minister.
No, I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you that if the need of the hour is to be a little precautionary, what is the harm in that? Because this is, by your own admission, a yatra that is inviting a lot of people, and there are a lot of people who could potentially be at risk. Rahul Gandhi is walking every day. So what is the harm? I'm not understanding.
No, there is nothing to understand. I don't think the Congress party needs to be reminded of its responsibility as far as COVID is concerned. I mean, it
so
always
what are the
warned against
precautions that are being followed in this yatra?
Last year, Shivani, if you remember, when the Election Commission announced an 8-phase election, when the second wave was imminent, it was the Congress party that said, no rallies will take place.
Precisely why I ask you this question today. Because of your tone and tenor and stand on COVID, even when it came to political rallies, why is it that today you're saying that no precautions are not necessary?
We are acknowledging the threat of this.
So what are the precautions being taken in the Bharat Jodo Yatra as we speak?
Nobody's undermining any threat.
Okay, so what are the precautions that are being taken?
The political nature of the letter, in which there is a conspiracy to sabotage the Bharat Jodo.
How can anybody sabotage the Bharat Jodo Yatra? It is already on. It's already been on for majority of its period. My question to you is, you could put this debate to rest for the last 2 days by just saying, here are the precautions we are following. Why don't you list them out?
Exactly. The onus has now become on the Congress party.
But the yatra
is the government's failure and its politicization of this terrible disease that has sparked up this debate. And
but the yatra is being conducted by the Congress party, so naturally the question will be asked, what precautions are you taking?
No, of course we will. The Congress party does not need to be reminded of any of its responsibilities.
Why? Are you like holier than God in themselves? What are you saying that we don't need to be reminded? I'm asking you a simple question. What are the precautions in place as we speak today?
Of course there will be precautions.
So tell me.
Look, no. Of course there will be precautions. Look,
there will be, or are they?
2 years. What has the government said? Of course there will be. Has the government laid down the kind of protocols that should be followed?
There are certain COVID protocols that have existed throughout. Simple things like
kind of guidelines the government
encouraging masking, simple things like encouraging sanitization, simple things like when we travel, we do need to be double dosed. Those precautions have already existed throughout.
Yeah, but have the similar precautions been told to the rally that was held by the Prime Minister?
No, but
why is there a kind of discriminatory?
Yeah, Charu, I'll give you time. Wait.
No, hang on a minute. Did you tell those attending the rally of the Prime Minister to do the similar things which you are telling us? Have you done that? There is a discriminatory.
Okay, so I said I'll take your political charge to the BJP. But I am asking you as a representative of the Congress party, as a rally that is still continuing, what are the precautions being taken? Why can't you announce them?
I'm just telling you, all precautions will be put in place. We know
will be put in place. So it's okay.
Debate.
So just accept, we'll do it.
No,
what's the harm? What's the shame?
That doesn't have to be said. That is, that does not have to be said. You should ask the questions of the BJP. Why haven't norms been set in airports 2 days back? What are you waiting for? Are you waiting for the kind of devastation we saw?
So let me understand from you. The questions that I will take to the BJP are the questions I will take to the BJP, but I'm focusing on what you're saying right now.
Sure.
Can I understand from you, let's say tomorrow, the Yatra still has some kilometers to go. Let's say tomorrow the government comes out and says, okay, now there is a bar of over 100 people or 200 people or 500 people collecting. Will you object to that or will you welcome it? Or will you say this is just to stop Bharat Jodo Yatra?
If there are rules that are instituted which are particularly marked towards preventing this terrible, terrible disease, of course.
So Congress will then not allege that this is some conspiracy, as Jairam Ramesh said, chronology समझिए, ये दिल्ली में घुसने वाली है यात्रा, इसलिए ये हो रहा है.
Shivani, hang on. Can you not see from the nature?
Charu, I'll come to you. We have enough time for everybody. Yes, Avijit.
No. What I was trying to tell you, Shivani, is can you not see from the purpose and the objective and the intent of that letter what it was? I'm only objecting. Nobody is undermining the disease. You have to demarcate the disease from the politics. I think we'll be better off by making that clear and unequivocal.
Unfortunately, the virus does not distinguish between the politics and the non-politics. The virus can still be present at the yatra, no matter what the political stand is and no matter whose yatra it is. So that's why I'm saying that, frankly, the only thing that the Congress should have come out and said is that, okay, these are the precautions we are already following.
Okay, so we shouldn't talk about the politics that has been unfortunately played by the health minister. Okay. That shouldn't be brought out at all.
I said I will take that question to the BJP. Of course, I will take that to the question, along with the question that Anshul Avijit is raising, Charu, that there have been large gatherings that even the BJP has been part of till 2-3 days ago, including the Prime Minister himself. And you've been carrying out yatras in various states. So why target Bharat Jodo alone?
Shivani, I'm going to put some facts in front of you and then maybe through you, Anshul will understand a bit better. First of all, the situation of COVID is very fluid and very dynamic. It's changing every single day. So because Anshul is talking about Prime Minister Modi ji's program 4 days ago, the situation 4 days ago, even globally, was different. And as the precautionary stance of our government is rising, this letter has gone out to Bharat Jodo Yatra.
But why only to Bharat Jodo Yatra? No, Charu, the question that people are asking is why only to Bharat Jodo Yatra? There may be other events happening with similar nature of crowds.
Correct. And I'm getting there. The second thing is that we all know the Chief Minister of Himachal Pradesh joined the Bharat Jodo Yatra and went back COVID positive. Our party, Bharatiya Janata Party, had a yatra in the state of Rajasthan which has been called off because of the same reasons, that yatra is no longer going from village to village. Also, we need to understand that when people come together in one village or one city, it's different. But a yatra which is going from city to city, village to village, state to state, every single day is traveling possibly with the fear of spreading this virus even further. And I think a responsible political leader should have just said that, thank you so much, I'm going to ensure I wear a mask, people around me wear a mask, and they're taking a break for New Year. They're taking a break from the yatra for several days. Can you not be vigilant enough to say that let's start this break slightly earlier? We are going to see which way COVID goes in this country and take
No,
the
Rahul
yatra.
Gandhi today says
But he
that
has stopped
COVID
it.
is an excuse to stop this yatra. This has been echoed by many Congress leaders, that you've been worried, one, about the response to the yatra, and secondly, because of the nature of media coverage, you are particularly hampering this yatra as it gets closer to Delhi.
First of all, Shivani, that does not even sound like a question which makes sense, because elections are already over and done with. So what is happening in Delhi that the Congress is so excited about? It is simply one more stop in the route of the yatra. And while Anshul also talks about airports, etc., let me remind him that along with this letter, testing has started at international airports. Let me also remind him that when he talks about suspension of the parliament, it didn't even happen in the peak waves, because the job the country's legislatures have has to go on. Not everything can come to a standstill.
No,
And,
nobody has asked for anything to be stopped right now. We must be very careful about no activity has been stopped. And I was traveling internationally in October and November. Let me remind our viewers, and they will know if they've been traveling. In every flight, you are reminded to keep your mask on. At airports, you have to show your double vaccination certificate. So these are precautions that are already existing. They have become part of our normal life now.
Absolutely.
So I don't think it is fair to say that there were no precautions being taken. We were being reminded every day, but obviously because of reports emerging from especially countries like China, suddenly there is an alarm.
Exactly. And Shivani, if I can just add to that, I think it's irresponsible of Mr. Gandhi to politicize this, because simply all he had to do was
Anshul
stand-
says you have politicized it by issuing this letter in the first place.
But it's not the only person the government is giving a fair warning to. Modi ji has requested the citizens to go back to COVID appropriate protocol. Everyone
that's
in
today,
Parliament
no?
today was wearing a mask. There is testing which is happening at airports. Jan Akrosh Yatra has
All
been
of
called
that
off.
happened post the letter. That is why Jairam Ramesh is saying, आप chronology समझिए.
नहीं, क्रोनोलॉजी तो मैं जयराम रमेश जी से पूछ रही हूँ, दिल्ली में ऐसा क्या हो रहा है, क्या आपके लिए स्पेशल चुनाव हो रहे हैं, what is happening?
Okay.
And these meetings are happening across the country. It's not simply the union government which is talking about COVID
All
today.
right.
Governments
No,
which are
I
headed
did
by
show
other
at the start of the
parties
show
are also
that Sumant,
happening.
even in the state that you hail from in Tamil Nadu, the DMK has actually held a review meeting. So it's not like it's just BJP states or, at the center or at the state who are raising this alarm with this vicious intention that Bharat Jodo Yatra ko rokna hai. And also, is the Congress not overestimating the impact of this yatra by specially alleging that because it is entering Delhi, that's why it's on target?
No, I think we have to first understand certain things. According to the BJP, I think it is selectively Congress rallies and Congress events that spread COVID, whereas their own rallies and events are not at high risk of spreading COVID. They could probably come up with, there'll be a few of their doctors who will give explanations for why that is so and all. I am so glad that as of this moment, they have not accused congressmen of deliberately wanting to spread COVID. Remember the Tablighi Jamaat incident at the start of the first wave? I'm so happy that they have not at least accused congressmen of deliberately spreading COVID. So that is, to that extent, there are small mercies. One should be happy for it. Look, this government has not even told people whether they should have a fourth booster. I'm a doctor. I've had so many people call me and ask me, should we take the fourth booster? What is the government directive? We don't know. Nobody knows. There is no directive as of this moment. Now, what is the availability of vaccines at different centers? Some centers say we don't have the vaccine stocks now. None of this is being taken care of. Are masks going to be made mandatory? Everyone is advised to follow COVID precautions. Is not the same thing as saying that masks are mandatory in certain places.
Yeah, of course, masks are not mandatory, but that doesn't mean that precautions are not followed. I will not spread the message. One second. I will not spread the message through this show, at least, that self-precautionary mindset is not important. It is. It is all of our responsibility to protect ourselves and to protect others.
Yes, it is also the duty of the government to protect us.
That point is fine. I'm not arguing on that.
Now you tell me. There are many senior citizens in this country, lakhs of them, millions of them, who have taken the first booster more than 6 months ago. What are they supposed to do? Government has not told us.
No, but
I think the priority certainly is the Bharat Jodo Yatra. I think
okay,
that
so
is
you're
really
saying
the
that
first
they
priority.
had other areas to focus on. Instead, they focused on Bharat Jodo
No,
Yatra.
no. Wait. Let me finish. Look, the Bharat Jodo Yatra organizers should voluntarily come forward and adhere to COVID protocols. But the letter speaks about you may need to consider postponing the rally. That seems to give the game away. They don't say, please ensure COVID precautions are taken. Nobody will object if the government actually said that. There's nothing wrong at all. But why do they say you may consider postponing the rally? I think that's...
The letter said that if you cannot...
I never thought...
No, once again. You're quoting it only half. The letter said that if you cannot follow these COVID protocols, then you may look at suspension of the yatra.
No, 1 minute. Why would they not be willing to take COVID precautions?
No, it's not sometimes about willing.
No,
it's
what?
also,
It is a threat.
Sumant, 1 second, let me get in a word edgewise. I'm saying sometimes it is not about being willing. I'm sure the Congress party is willing, but sometimes in the nature of the yatra, you cannot quite instill the same amount of COVID protocols in the nature of the yatra because of the nature of the yatra.
You tell me the amount. What is the same amount of COVID protocols?
No, I'm not talking about the number of people, Sumant. Look at the nature of the yatra. The nature of the yatra is, it is not a stationary place where people are attending a gathering. It is a moving place. So sometimes in that kind of a situation, how are you going to guarantee? You can't guarantee, right?
There are no guarantees. Until yesterday, nobody in Parliament was wearing a mask. What are we
that's
talking
a separate
about?
argument. That's a separate argument. I am saying on the issue of the letter that you were quoting.
A government which has not issued orders to its own members of Parliament to wear masks in Parliament.
No, that's a separate argument. I was only adding to what you said about the letter itself. What the letter says, that suspend the yatra. The letter says...
Why do you say suspend the yatra?
Sumant, can I finish a sentence? Can I finish a sentence?
Please do. Please do. I know what the sentence says.
Yeah. So let me finish it. Maybe our viewers don't know. The only thing I was pointing out is that the letter says that if you are unable to put in place these precautions or these guidelines, then you may consider suspension of the yatra. You are saying
what is that? That's a threat.
Sumant, I'm not finished.
That's a clear-cut threat.
Sumant, why are you this impatient today?
I'm not impatient at all. I'm not impatient at all.
Let me finish. I'm saying that you are saying this is a dead giveaway that there was a political intention, right? Let Charu Pragya respond to that.
Thank you. See, Shivani, the yatra is boasting of the fact that they were in Rajasthan one day, Haryana the next day, coming to Delhi the next day. And you are saying, Congress party saying that so many people, thousands of people, scores of people are walking with the yatra. So should that not make you more responsible towards the health of the people who are walking in this yatra, health of the people Rahul Gandhi ji is meeting along the way of the yatra? I don't buy your arguments, sir. Also, when you are talking about what happened yesterday versus what happened today, see, we have to remember that COVID chooses its time. It's not asking us for permission. And things were different 2 days ago and 4 days ago and a week ago, and hopefully they will be much better a week down the line when our government says that it's not as fatal as we are taking precautions for, and fingers crossed that's the way it will be. Also, when you talk about guidelines from the government, our government has ensured that Indian citizens have been given 2 vaccinations compulsorily, and it has been given free of cost. You bring in politics into everything. Anshu started his opening argument.
Should we take the second booster or not?
Forgetting the fact that at the peak
should
of
we
COVID,
take second booster or not?
Please don't speak over me. I did not interrupt you.
Should we take second booster? One question I'm asking, madam. I don't know the answer.
Played politics over vaccination. You did it, in fact, in such a bad way that you only wanted to first go purchase your own vaccine.
Should people take second booster or not? Should
You had a
people
problem
take
even with
second
that.
booster vaccine or not?
Booster free of charge, and you have a problem. So I am sorry.
Should we take second booster vaccine or not?
You don't understand. I don't like speaking over other people. I maintained basic courtesy.
She's not answering my question. She's running away.
No questions. I'm asking Shivani's questions.
And you're running away from my question.
But Sumant, you mustn't heckle her. Let us finish her point.
No, this is not the way to debate.
One question I'm asking,
Sumant,
madam.
you've been heard. Let her answer her now. You can't heckle
She's not
her
answering
continuously.
me. She's not answering
Surely
that
she's
one
not. You're not
simple
going to like
question.
it if somebody does this to
You're
you.
speaking over me. Do you not understand the meaning of turn by turn or waiting for your turn to speak? Also, Mr. Gandhi is mocking COVID today. The opposition leaders say that he was sounding the bugle 2 years ago. Well, where is all that responsibility gone
Okay,
now? Or
that
do
is
you
in fact
only
going to be
stand
my next
for
question to
that
Anshul
is
Avijit.
nothing else?
The
She's
Congress
not
claims
answered
that
my
they have
question.
always
Mind
been,
it.
warning the government. It's been playing the role of, sounding the warning to the government. Why is it that today you don't feel that greater precautions or even, let's say, any mandatorily restrictions are required? Is it because you have something at stake today, which is your yatra? So you don't want that yatra to be affected in any manner?
Shivani, there is no doubt that it is that letter which has sparked this debate. So let me ask you, has a similar letter been sent to the Prime Minister who's going from state to state? Has a letter been sent to the individual ministers, heads of individual people? Because Mr. Rahul Gandhi was addressed in this letter. Has the government done that? I just want to know which politicizes the entire issue. You could have had a general warning. You could have said that a threat is imminent and therefore we have to take necessary precautions. But you didn't do that.
Okay,
Second
no, you made
point
that
is you
point.
have
My
to wait
question
for
was a little
newspaper reports.
forward-looking,
Did you
Anshul.
not know about the situation in China earlier?
Okay,
You
okay.
have to wait for
Anshul, my
newspaper
question was
reports.
exactly that. My question is a little forward-looking. Now, at
No,
this
no, 1 minute.
stage,
Shivani
one
had
second,
to
one
say-
second,
Let me just complete my
At this
sentence.
stage,
Anshul
Anshul,
would have said that.
Charu,
we are
one second,
impacting
Charu, one
elections.
second.
No, just let me say.
No, Anshul,
my
at this
point
stage,
was-
does the
Sorry.
Congress party believe there is need for greater alarm and restrictions, or do you believe
Well,
no?
of course, we have always never undermined the threat of COVID at any point in time.
So
it
tomorrow
was
if
our
restrictions
warning
were
that
to
was
be
not
announced,
needed to let
you're
to
okay
the
with it?
devastation and
Very
annihilation.
futuristic.
No, just a minute. Charu has kept saying, and I agree with her, it's a fluid situation. But did you need newspaper reports for the government to suddenly wake up and put these kind of protocols in place? Oh, no. Today this will happen. Were you not aware of what was happening in China when it was unfolding? I mean, did you have better information than what we had? We all saw it in the newspaper, and it seemed that almost the government reacted after that.
Okay,
it's
Charu.
completely absurd.
Okay, let her respond to that. I have
Completely
limited time.
absurd that
Charu.
This is exactly what happened.
No, so Shivani, I'm asking a very reasonable question. Please tell me, had this letter been issued or the protocol been spoken about 2 weeks earlier, wouldn't Anshul have turned around and said, we are doing amazingly well in these elections and you're trying to halt that? So I'm sorry, Anshul, at any given point of time, in any political party's calendar, things are happening. COVID is not timing.
Would you have
itself
sent the
with your
letter to the
hands.
Prime Minister?
Please tell
Is
me,
what I'm
a few
asking.
weeks ago, would you have not talked about elections? Would you have not said that we are winning
We
Gujarat
stopped
and
our
that's
rallies
why
in the
you're
elections,
winning our
Charu.
yatra? Wouldn't
Last
you have
year we
said
stopped
that?
it and the Prime
Then
Minister
we
went
have
on.
elections right now, Anshul. If you can take a break for Christmas and New Year, why not take a break a few days
But
earlier?
the Prime Minister,
Why not
why
say,
did the
okay,
Prime Minister go
but
ahead
it's
with the
threat,
rally?
take a
Did he
break
not
for-
know the
Why
situation
did
in
he take
China, or was it suddenly
responsibility?
revealed?
Tell me that.
Okay.
Was it like a
Everybody's
moment when he
very
suddenly said,
Unfortunately,
no.
what has happened is that another
Let's
COVID
please
season, I hope it doesn't get as bad as it was for us at some periods, but another COVID season has started with blatant politics, and both sides can be blamed for it, and not really what the focus should have been. I have to leave it at that. I do thank all of